Welcome to Solo Travel Adventures for women 50 and older. I'm Cheryl Esch, your host, solo travel advocate, freedom traveler, and coach. This is your passport to adventure. Well, hello, sister travelers. I know last week I talked about it being summer right around the corner, and it's still hard for me to believe that it is this coming weekend is Memorial Day here in the US, which really signifies the start of summer vacations. So if you have not booked something, whether it's summer or even the rest of the year, I mean, we are about mid-year too as well. So if you haven't booked any travel yet, I encourage you to do so. I was reminded of this very recently as my April got really crazy busy. I wasn't able to do some of the things I like to do, whether it was just getting outside for a hike or doing something for myself, right? And May is looking the same way, and June is looking pretty busy as well. So I decided, in speaking with somebody else who was struggling with the same thing, we decided and determined that we needed to start doing things for us, things that make us happy. And one thing that makes me so happy and lights me up is just being able to get away, even just for a weekend. So I have plans to just go off somewhere for a weekend in July that I have planned. I don't normally travel much in the summers, but I just feel that need to really get away. And so I'm encouraging you to maybe do the same thing for yourself. But I'm also here today because back in January, this new year, episode 66, actually, I talked about 12 trendy destinations for 2024 for solo female travelers that I recommended. I also used some resources that are reputable. And so if you want to refer back to that, it is probably the most popular episode I've done, but I want to kind of circle back around to that because I am calling on you, my listeners, my sisters, or if you know somebody, I am wanting to highlight some of these destinations with someone who has actually been there, a female solo traveler that has actually gone to some of these places so that we can talk, we can share with you, the audience, what it was like as a solo female traveler to go to some of these very popular, trendy destinations this year. And maybe it wasn't this year that you've gone yet. Maybe you have it planned for later in the year. Or maybe you went last year or maybe towards the end of last year. I still would love to talk to you, would love to have you actually on my podcast to talk and share about that trip. So I am looking for you, anyone that has been to as a solo female traveler, let's just say in the past year, or you plan to go sometime this year. I am looking for people to share about their experience as going to these few places. Now, these are not all 12, so you'll have to go back and listen to that full episode if you want to hear all 12. That was aired on January 2nd. It's episode 66. But I am looking for a female to share about having been a solo traveler in Japan in the last year, Costa Rica, Quebec City, Queensland, Australia, Albania, Colombia, Chile, Croatia, and Botswana. So that's actually 9 out of the 12. I would love to hear from any of you that have been there to share your experiences with other women who might be interested in going but want to have a firsthand recollection, a firsthand story of what it was like to be there as a solo female traveler. And we will highlight you on the episode. I hope to hear from you. Now, there's a couple ways you can get in touch with me. In the show notes, you will notice there is an email. You could reach out that way. There's also a new feature within Buzzsprout where it's called Fan Mail. I think you can click on that and leave me a message. You could also use my SpeakPipe, which is also, there's a link for that inside the show notes. And you could text me if you are in the US. My number is 214-701-6825. Text me and we'll get in touch to see about getting you on my show and to share with other women of like-mindedness who desire to travel and want to see some of these trendy places that are kind of really hip to be going to this year. And possibly some of them, just like Japan was a hot spot in 2023, it continues to be a hot spot in 2024. And maybe it'll continue again into next year as well. But I love to highlight these locations with some firsthand experiences. So reach out to me if that's you, or if you know somebody that has been to those places in the last year or plans to go. Again, send them to me and we'll get that information out to you so everybody can hear what those places were like. And maybe going some of those places is just not in the budget for you, but I'm still going to encourage you, like I did in the beginning of the episode, do something for yourself. Get out there and have that adventure, whether it's big, small, near or far. I want you to go take care of that and book right now. I've been seeing quite a bit of some great deals, particularly for fall. So if you have some time to get away in the fall, I have seen some really good flight deals. And if I had a lot of money, I'd be hopping on all those, but I have to really restrain myself when I see some of those great deals. So let me know if you've been to any of those places, or just go back and listen to episode 66 if you want to hear all 12 places listed and see if any of those interest you for your future travels. Hey, sister travelers, did this podcast inspire and encourage you or move you to get out there and travel? Wonderful. There are 3 ways you can thank me. First one is leave a written review for the show on Apple Podcast. 2, share the show with your sister travelers, your friends, your family. And 3, subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode. And thank you again for listening to the show. Sisters, be fearless, take the leap, and get out there and have an adventure.